What is up, Hallowmaniacs? I hope you guys are enjoying the 31 days of Halloween. Today's adventure is going to take you to Jeffrey's Antiques outside Findlay, Ohio, one of our favorite spots to antique.
And I think they actually label this as Ohio's largest antique mall.
It
It
sure
is
is
huge.
Yeah, right off the freeway.
Yes.
Lots to see here. So
We found some good Halloween deals in the past year, and we're really excited and hoping that Halloween it is going to be a code orange alert in there.
man, I hope so. And as always, we're trying to bring you all things Halloween all year round. Not I got your back, but we got your back,
We got
right?
your back.
So we're going to make
That's
it happen. We did do a previous video here, so we'll link that in the description as well. So you could check out our previous video here. Going to be interesting to see the pre and post to see what Halloween we can find now that we're in the heart of spooky season.
Heck yeah. Let's go. All right, guys. So we've been here before. This is right off of I-75, and it's kind of going down south, well, at least for us, going south. We usually hit this up when we're going on vacations, but there was all kinds of great Halloween when you first walk in.
I remember that jack-o'-lantern kind of light from last time, actually, so it didn't sell, but that's one of the things that kind of greeted you in the main entranceway, and that kind of said, hey, we've got Halloween here.
That's right. And then we also found some of these older style masks. And I love the skeleton one here. I feel like they just had that classic look. There's so many colorful, different colors and different blends in there that kind of created these masks. Of course, you have to be very fragile with them. I think they would be, especially as they get older.
Yeah, they crack pretty easily too. So definitely have to watch how you would store these. But these are iconic types of designs for sure.
Here is another older lantern that we found. And again, it just has that, you could tell it's older just by the face of it there, and they wanted $125 for that, so I think that was kind of the going rate that we were looking at.
Yeah, that's kind of the ballpark figure that we've been seeing out there for those.
But here is another little orange alert. Of course, we were seeing some of these pumpkin pals pop up. I mean, that's such a classic. I mean, they still carry them in Walmart, and a lot of the modern day ones will have like the thinner strap, but you can sometimes tell the older ones with like the thicker plastic, the coloring, and this is really cool. It's almost looked like a homemade pumpkin.
I like the design on it too.
I love the colorful look to it. Of course, we had a little skeleton in between. This was here the last time. It did not sell.
That, yeah.
But I am hoping, especially for the vendors, because it's a really cool piece, especially being out and out and it kind of towards that Halloween season, I bet you it will probably move.
It would look great in somebody's home, no doubt about it.
And it was sturdy. I mean, this was not plastic. This was more of like a thicker almost
material,
like concrete plaster type of, and it was heavy, but it had the light up lights right there, and each skull would have, I presume it might be red, but some kind of light in there. Now this was really, really fun. They had these kind of poster prints, and we ended up snagging the one that's right behind here because it has like the classic Halloween look to it.
You've got the black cat, the owl, the jack-o'-lantern. I mean, to me, that is vintage Halloween to the T in paper form.
We loved it. It was good quality printing. And, we went and actually got a frame for this and put this up.
Yeah, we got a frame from Michael's. We put it up on our house. And when we do our home decor, you guys will definitely see this up. And I think it looks fantastic.
But I love that look to it. I love, you just said, the classic look. And here, again, speaking of classic Halloween and something very, very old, here is a old paper mache smaller pumpkin. So, you have the choir boy style design, but then there's the ones that they almost kind of remind me of oranges.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else thinks of kind of being orange, but orange alert.
Rosboro alert right here.
I love this one. This is one that I think is that classic. They also have the checkered pattern kind of jacket that the pumpkin will wear, but they would put the candy in the back there. And, this one was not a bad price. Here's another little tiny Rosboro. These are like smaller. Gosh, they're probably like half of a thumb size.
Yeah,
they're really tiny. And sometimes older Rosboros, they would actually be carrying those. So like the little candy buckets with it. Here is a older vintage style trick-or-treat bag. You could kind of see it. And this was all in a booth, so we couldn't really get our hands on it. And, I completely understand why you'd want to lock these things. A lot of these items are tiny and, kind of could see it there, appreciate it. And then here were some more paper mache pumpkins as well. So those were, I'm not sure if that was homemade or if that was maybe older antique, but here's one with the little cutouts.
Yeah, that's an old one right there with the insert.
And it is so cool to see an original one like this, and you can see it's kind of on that paper bottom right there. And, to have the little cutouts still intact, that was really fun to find.
Yeah, a lot of times people will replace the inserts because they don't have the originals or the originals get damaged, but the original inserts really makes those marquee items to collect.
And just it really pops. This was a fun vintage style bucket right here. I like it because it had like a little bit of everything on it.
Medley of characters. You've got the vampire, you've got Frankenstein, the Rest in Peace gravestone, all those iconic Halloween type of scenes.
And here was a fun little kind of cat bucket. So a lot of times we're familiar with the jack-o'-lantern buckets, but here now we can give some love to the kitty cats of Halloween too. So
Binks approved.
That's right. There's so many things that are Binks approved.
That's right.
This being one of them. But I like that here. And it had good coloring too. Here kind of in the back, this
Noisemaker.
Yeah, it was hiding away, and it was like in a whole medley of Christmas items and different holidays. And then I spotted a little Halloween gem kind of standing right there, and I hadn't seen that one before. I like it with the pumpkin winking.
You always don't see like the little ball thing attached to them either. I've seen a lot of those noisemakers that are missing it, so it's kind of cool that was fully intact for that one too.
And that's kind of the fun part of Halloween, and it kind of shows its rarity because a lot of these antiques, what's out there is out there. They're not going to remake it,
Exactly,
and that's any antique, but nice when you can find one that's intact and makes it really special to come by.
This is that Bayshore one. You come across this one, quite frequently over the course of time when you frequent antique shops and flea markets, but it's still an iconic scene here with the cat with the pumpkin on its back, literally.
And that one had really good coloring. I love the blow molds. And speaking of blow molds, this is a fun one too. It has like a little treat bucket with treat as like in the teeth. And,
Yep.
It had a little bit of fading on it, but overall, not bad, especially considering its age there. This was a really nice metal art yard design, kind of stack of pumpkins. I'm not sure if somebody handmade this or, this is store-bought, but I loved it. And it was really great coloring. I love the witch hat on it. And, either way, they had to take a lot of time. And yeah, what a really great find.
And here's an actual pretty rare piece. This is a candy corn blow mold, which we don't have this one, and you don't see this one too frequently.
No, I was just, thinking to myself, this is a rare one, and you don't see it. And sometimes you'll see different color variations on it, but that was fun to find. Again, we also have, look at that white jack-o'-lantern. That caught my eye.
Those are kind of like those metal sculpture design pieces. Those are pretty cool, too.
And then you have, you can see right here.
125, I think, on there.
I think, yeah. And then they also had one of these. Again, a little bit of fading on this one, but this is such a fun pumpkin. I love it. It's kind of, I like to call it the stemless pumpkin. And here we found just a little, while you may not say it's Halloween, I think it's kind of
This
creepy.
is a creepy doll collection.
I mean, look at that one. Does that not give you nightmares? If I saw
Dolly Dearest, Chucky, Puppet Master, you name it. These guys belong in that collection.
Yeah, I would be, especially, look at that one with the eye. Oh my goodness. That's what nightmares are made of.
Very unsettling. I wouldn't be closing my eyes going to sleep with that in the same room as me.
That's right. Here, they had some great kind of vintage records. Damien, Omen 2. Did you ever see the Omen movie?
It's been a while. I think I have seen it. I haven't seen the Omen 2, though.
Phantasm. So these were great because this vendor had ones that I have never seen before.
It's all about the cover art, too, on these soundtracks or these albums. I mean, the cover art really draws you in.
Yep. And again, speaking of drawing you in, look at those pumpkins up there, the different colors. That drew me into this booth. And there were some really fun Halloween items in here. I mean, this vendor was getting ready for fall, and I love to see that. Just all the different fall colors. I mean, you had like mix of autumn in here, especially with the owls. And then you had some Halloween kind of thrown into it. And yeah, this is really, like I said, a fun booth and great, fantastic find. And I was kind of looking in through this hodgepodge, and I love all the owls.
The owls are pretty cool, I will say. They're majestic creatures.
That's right. Majestic.
Majestic.
And here, all the buckets up here. Does anyone collect or have like certain ones that they like to have? I mean, you can have the Grand Venture ones. I believe they have Union make some. I mean, there's all different kinds. I like that green one with that wide smile. Of course, I just love them all. It's hard to choose just one. But then, speaking of owls, like that one right there. I love with the yellow.
Yeah, the yellow one. That's a really cool piece.
And those would look great in just kitchen or just even bedroom, wherever you want to put it. I mean, owls are they're really cool. They're a hoot.
Oh, nice. Now you're pulling out the puns. I love it.
I know. Somebody's got to stop us here. But the one thing too, of course I love that right here. It's like the classic jack-o'-lantern. It looked like a vinyl tablecloth, I want to say, but
that's a really colorful one too. I like that.
Here was an older style trick-or-treat bag. And again, like you said earlier, it's all about that presentation and the cover on it. And that's really cool with the witch soaring into like the moon background and the ghosts and the jack-o'-lanterns looking up. I mean, that's just like kind of that classic Halloween sign. So I think I saw this one was $9.90. I think it was $9.99. But they had more different ones kind of all around the store. I saw a different vendor that had that same one.
Here's your neighborhood friendly ghost, Casper.
Casper. Now, this was one of my favorite finds, and we didn't take it home, but I thought it was so cool. It's from the 1920s, and it was actually Halloween party hats that they had. So that what they would wear back in the day. I mean, and this vendor, these were in awesome condition, and just, they had different styles. So you'll see one that this one was like a wider, thicker one here, but it's from the 1920s for $35.
It's not a bad price when you think about it. I mean, over 100 years old already.
No, and look at this style cut. This is kind of like, I almost want to say cone shaped, but it has they had so many different kind of styles, and it looked like the same collection. Here's a different one as well. So those are really nice and something I had never seen before.
It's all about the black tassel. I'll be whipping that bad boy around.
You'd probably break it.
Yes, I would.
That's why we didn't take it home, guys. But they also had some great older die cuts right here. So this is like one of those classic ones. I always see that hunchback black cat, but I didn't really ever notice this one right here with kind of like the yellow background to it. So again, just when you think you've seen it all, you'll find something else.
You come across something new.
This one was different. So it had, again, I think that, I don't know if that is a hat or just maybe just a die cut, but kind of looked like with the brim on it right there. And
yeah, he's a scarecrow. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really nice and unique. And here's some more of the girly candles and, that skull one. I saw that one. Gosh, it was at a different antique store probably about a year ago, but that was really nice. And they have kind of like the little plastic container.
Oh, the skeleton melodies. Now we're getting into some of these books and literature type of things. Always kind of cool to find these, but they're a little bit more on the rare side too. Don't always come across a ton of Halloween books.
You'll see one that we actually ended up snagging.
Yes.
Here, thanks to Joe.
Caught my eye. Yes, it did.
Shortly. But this is great. Those kind of cut out pumpkins, and I like when they have the group of them together. Here's another classic bowl mold.
I've seen that white ghost bowl mold quite frequently too, with the orange eyes.
And they even have one, I think, with green eyes.
Yes, there's a green-eyed version too.
So sometimes you're going to notice different variations between some of these older blow molds. Sometimes a Frankenstein you'll see with different colors. Here, Don Featherstone.
My boy Donnie.
Boy Donnie, right? Well, here's two of his. So you had the group of jack-o'-lanterns, and then the one right below it is actually that carries a sign.
Yeah, with the sign. That's right.
Yeah, it's Don Featherstone too. So
he was one of the first blow molds that we got that really got us into Halloween and got us moving, and we got him at the Midland Antique Festival last year, I think it was.
Yeah, and I always kind of categorize it. So I always say one of our first, the big blow molds was the guy with the green right there. But then I also call the smaller blow molds that you'll see your Union and your Empires. I don't know.
Right.
It's more of the 60s. So
yes,
the really vintage ones. So some classic mix of jack-o'-lanterns in there as well. And hey, there's Santa's always watching you. I feel like he's right around the corner. Christmas is going to be here before we know it.
It is.
So, but here that was my first girly candle I collected was that little good witch right there.
Yep, you're right.
I saw her last year at a antique store in Wisconsin, and I think I paid I think it was $6 or something
Not
like
bad.
that. But it's cool because it has that vintage, that I think of the 50s and 60s with that, and just has that appeal and look to it. The black cat is great. This little jack-o'-lantern came home with us. That is a larger one right there that we saw that's girly. Those kids that love 80s, 90s, you see the troll back there. And of course we had that larger Bayshore blow mold.
Yep.
But this was really great finds too. The little witch candles. I mean, this vendor has some really great ones that you don't see that are not, your common finds that you can usually stumble across.
Yeah, we got super excited to see some of these things because some things that we didn't have, which was kind of cool to take home too.
Again, you could tell you have an older style bucket right here because it's got that thicker strap on it, and just the overall quality of the plastic was different. $15 on this, not a bad one. And then here, again, another treat one.
Really good coloring on that guy too.
Yeah, so it does not have the original strap. You can kind of see somebody put that on there, but that would not be a deal breaker for me. I mean, look at the coloring on this. This was great. And I think it was
$40, yeah.
Here is kind of a little, I don't know, it looks like kind of like a plastic or noisemaker, but that had that vintage look to it. And this was really fun. It was little invitation cards, and they're from all the way, it's Hallmark made them. I think they're from, I show the year here in a second, like the 50s, I want to say.
Wow, that's pretty old.
Yeah, and this was great too. So they kind of varied. I saw $20 on the witch. Yeah,
52? Yeah, wow.
And that's neat when you can find the year actually stamped on it.
Yes, still really good shape too.
Like this tally right here with the pumpkin. That was one of my favorite ones for $10. I mean, they were great finds, and those will look like great display pieces if you want to. Again, this right here too, if you have like a little curio or things that you want to have, like that little, just all your precious antiques and your most vintage Halloween finds, these will look great too. Little small decor. $12.50 on that little pair right there, but there were just all kinds of things just all mixed in there. And
Dracula motionette, those are cool.
Yes.
And that definitely reminds me of my childhood Halloweens for sure.
And then here's another one. You had the witch on the chair. She's a great find, and I like this because she kind of rocks back and forth, and they had that classic noise.
And she's actually called the Sonic Rocking Witch. So I don't know where the Sonic part comes in, but, she's Sonic.
And for those of you out there that like Annalie, here's some Annalie figures that we found too. So that's one that, we've kind of, especially going to so many Home Goods and TJs.
Yeah, you see quite a few of those.
Yeah, those. So if you love that and you are trying to maybe find it out in the wild, you can go to Home Goods or TJ Maxx. Here is another Don Featherstone.
There he is, yeah.
So this is a great one. Look at the bottom, though. This is kind of some things.
That's why we didn't take him home. We got one recently that, as you guys saw, with our Midland adventure, which was in really good condition. But the very bottom of this one was kind of frayed, broken pieces, and chipped. But
the vendor, I think, it was asking maybe $60 or
right,
which I think was awesome consideration for it.
Sure.
So this was, I love that it's like a mix of zodiac signs, and it was like a sign that you could put up with beaded work. And I just thought, yes, it's not really Halloween, but it's kind of that mystical. It would look great if you had a witch's room, Joe. We didn't take it home, but I thought that is a great find, and, it kind of could go with the decor theme.
The stars didn't align on that purchase. And here is the awesome book that I found, Halloween Party, Agatha Christie. And I, it caught the corner of my eye, that vibrant orange and black, and I'm like, ooh, that's a Halloween book.
Yeah, I totally walked past this, and Joe's like, hey, you missed this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, because I know this book, and this is one that I have looked out for so long. And again, that classic, just orange and black on it.
Just know, Stephanie, every now and then one Hallowmaniac has to step up to be the hero. And in that case, I rose to the occasion.
You had your hero cape on that day, right?
That's right, I sure did.
Now, this vendor was fun because they had, look at this little $3 for this little pumpkin plush right here. And I love those. Those are so cute. I think they had, this was maybe the 90s. Does that say 1994?
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been, well, little Steffi would have been 9 years old then. So that would have been fun. I would have liked that. Here they had the little garland. So a lot of fun finds and kind of mix of the different eras of vintage. And then kind of moving on, you saw, this is a great ceramic. So I love ceramics. These can just be great pieces if you want to kind of spruce up your room, your home decor. This was fun. It looked like somebody kind of made like the classic. I've seen blow molds that look like that with the ghost with the cape on. And then
they did their own thing with the eyes. The eyes are different colors, I noticed.
And that was fun. And then here they also had another ceramic. So see, a lot of times classic blow molds that are also ceramic style. So they like kind of multi-use. But these were not bad. I think they were priced, $6.
Not a bad price at all.
Yeah, so if you're looking for that vintage look or, looking item or something just to add to maybe your current collection, not bad finds. This, I don't know. She just caught my eye. It's like kind of like a little Barbie face.
It does.
Those brat styles. It kind of reminded me of that. But
call it pissed off Barbie.
I guess so. But she was cute in her own little way. And look at that little witch. And, here they had, again, another ceramic ghost. Those melted popcorn. I like to say popcorny plastic. Mm-hmm. Those are like popular in the late 90s, 2000s. And then kind of, I saw that little pumpkin basket, but here's another blow mold that was kind of hiding there. So this was fun. And I've seen this one a lot recently. I'd never seen it before. And then I swear this year I've seen it like 4 different stores.
It's funny how that works out. Sometimes you never see something, and then once you start to see something new, it just multiplies over and over again.
Yeah, and these were rare. This witch and that little jack-o'-lantern kind of mini blow mold lights. And then they also had some more kind of candles here. So again, we were finding things that we had never seen before, mixed in with some stuff that we did.
That's why it's always good to stop at your local antique shops, flea markets, because stock does turn over. They bring in new stuff, and sometimes you do come across something new.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite ones in this booth right here that you're looking at?
We thought about that purple witch one, and then the other orange guy. Those are kind of cool. Something different. I have never seen those before.
Casper was cute right there. I like this kind of their own version of the Halloween tree that they made with the little mini buckets or pails right here. I mean, those were great. I like that black cat one. I think we ended up taking one home because that's kind of was a missing piece of the collection there.
There you go.
You had the big buckets and now you had the little pails.
Yep, something you didn't have. You had to add it.
That's right. And it had good coloring too. So a lot of those you'd find them in the 80s and 90s. I mean, they still carry them even today, the pumpkin mini buckets. But yeah, I had to go back here and check out this blow mold because that was just intriguing. I like the squishy pumpkins.
Yeah.
And then I found here, it was like little miniature bags. I mean, if there's like any kind of grab bags or things with like a little miniature Halloween
Oh, you're a sucker for grab bags.
That's a weakness.
You give this lady a grab bag with some Halloween in it and it's sold.
So, I know. It's like, and Joe's like, what are you going to do with all that? Just give me a minute. I'm thinking. I'll find a way.
I'm going to sort and think about it after.
I'll find a method.
That's right.
But, this was actually a really cool one because here was like little grab bags, but they took vintage Halloween design, the items. Like right here, look at that. Goes with the blow. That's a blow mold design. And they had so many like old retro, like 60s, 70s, like little miniature plastics, and maybe somebody made them and then painted it to look like them. So that was a fun find. I could put it even in the miniature village.
There's always a spot. Always find somewhere for it.
Here, it had, again, the classic cutout pumpkins that you can have light up there.
I like that one with the stump for the nose. That's different.
Yeah, it was kind of a little creative take on it. So I like when you can find those different kind of designs and, have that added to your collection. This looks like an M&M.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks a little different. He looks like that classic candy piece, but he was pretty cool.
Then we had the witch here for $4. So very reasonable prices. I love that vendor. And we were finding a lot of reasonable prices, just not only this vendor, but spread throughout the whole mall here. So we picked up a lot of great finds.
We did. We had some good things that we added.
Yeah, so I can't really just pick a favorite one. I feel like there were so many great items. But as we kind of head out here, we'll kind of talk about, we definitely are going to have a lot more antique videos coming up.
Yeah, I think folks really seem to enjoy some of our antiquing adventures, which we love getting that feedback and hearing that from you guys. So we definitely appreciate that. And we'll definitely make sure to kind of over-index on anything antique or Halloween related that we can incorporate.
Yeah, and thrifting. We still,
absolutely.
We're always going thrifting.
We're always on the hunt.
Yes, and this was, as we kind of headed out here, this was a find that we saw in the last video here. And it was still here.
I am surprised that one was still there, to be honest with you. I know the backing was a little bit cracked. It wasn't like the best condition, but I thought it was still a very fair price for it.
And that's one of those things. I love to take those home, but I'm honestly a little afraid to store them. But I think that's going to probably do it for this video. Stay tuned. Also, if you have any comments, questions, we are going to do our first live stream coming up on the 30th, and we would love to hear questions.
Submit your questions ahead of time, hallowmaniacs@gmail.com, and we'll answer them.
Yes, and there may be a giveaway coming up soon, too.
Spoiler alert. We love that.
Yes, so come say hi to us. But remember, friends, to always
stay spooky.
Ooh, trick or treat.